Timeout Talk.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another weekly edition of Timeout Talks, sponsored by the one and only Minifan Network, also sponsored by the Ice Shaker, Chase and Thrills, and, of course, Make It Mac. We're off to a wonky start here. I know people are probably like, what is going on? Josh is broadcasting onto his Facebook. We have had some recent changes within the Minifan Network in the streaming, so next week we'll be on Timeout Talks' official page, but that's okay. I'm going to share it. We'll get all of our Timeout Talks viewers in there. Like I said, we're streaming on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, so check us out. We've got plenty of stuff to talk about, especially last week. I had some crazy travel stuff going on. Delta on the bottom of my list right now. It's just crazy world. But Ben, we were talking about it before. We're going to talk about it now. The World Baseball Classic. USA following to Venezuela, who I'm just going to put it like this and turn it to you. I mean, they just played with more heart, Ben.
Yeah, and we can obviously touch base on that DR game too. That was obviously having its controversy in that own game and everything like that. But they made it pretty far, Josh. Very disappointing, obviously, but I don't think they should have got out of that DR game. So I'm happy with it. It's nice to see Aaron Judge choke there. Me and you were joking around a little before and everything, but he just, of course, the one guy out there, he's just got to prove it this whole time. He's got this whole stage for him. He's had these, poor performances in the past and everything, and just going down looking, obviously great pitch. And, right at the knees and everything. That's not like the DR one. That DR one's ended. That wasn't a strike. That wasn't a strike, but great job from Will Smith framing it. As the manager said, one of the best framers in the MLB. Not a baseball guy, but I obviously can sort of deduce that one. Didn't know that, but I guess Will Smith's not really good at that one. So that's in its own thing. But I think Aaron Judge, Josh, I mean, he had it. You gotta give an effort. You gotta go down swinging. You can't look at it. It's the finals. You gotta I don't care if you're hacking at it, doing whatever, just try. You gotta try. You can't go down looking. And then, cost us, and U.S. just, like you said, Josh, they just didn't have as much heart as the Venezuela team. It just meant more. You saw it with the fans, you saw it with everything, and like I said, I'm a little more just lenient with it because that DR game had a lot of controversy. I don't know if we should have got out of that one. Obviously, the play at second's a little dicey too. So that one was just filled with a bunch. It was a great game, Josh. Great game. Everything like that. But it's just, I don't know, just a little dicey over there and everything like that. So, I mean, great tournament for the U.S. Obviously, disappointing result, but had some, it was entertaining. Got me ready for the season, Josh. Got me ready. I wasn't really on the MLB radar yet, but now we got opening day, obviously, tomorrow, right around the corner, following on Thursday. Got the whole slate of games. Crochet, let's go Crochet. I believe we're playing the Angels. Did I get that right, Josh? I might have got that one right.
I believe you are.
I'm probably wrong.
I think.
So I know you guys got the Giants. I know you guys got the Giants and everything.
But Giants tomorrow. Reds,
okay. It was red. It was
Cincinnati Reds for the Red Sox.
It was a red team. I was close. But no, Josh, overall, I mean, the World Baseball Classic did its job. Got me back into the MLB, got me back into the baseball mood. It was great baseball all around. Just disappointing ending for the U.S. And as you said, there were some moments and everything, but these other teams just cared a little more, I think. And you saw that, just at the end, the Venezuelans they just gave it more. And these other teams are really good too. I mean, this was a really just even tournament, I think. And we saw some great baseball out there. And I don't know why we're such heavy favorites. I mean, you look at some of these other teams. I mean, even this Venezuelan team, 1 through 9, you've got MLB guys like Suarez. I know he's nasty over there. I just gave one of them, but I know there's somebody else over there. I think they had. I'm blanking on who else over there, but that's on me. That's on me with that one. But no, they were 1 through 9, all MLB
Acuna,
guys. Right now, see, there we go. Josh is
Acuna's
saving me
great.
with that one. Yeah, see, I mean, like I said, I'm back in the MLB mood now. That got me back into it, got me back on the radar. So, but I think great performance from the U.S. Just disappointing at the end, and I think we're not the best. I don't know why we're just the heavy favorites, Josh. I'm kind of confused with that.
Yeah, Ben. I mean, you've seen it in the earlier matchup with the Dominican Republic. They just stacked lineup. I mean, they had the better
Yeah,
hitting lineup. It was just our pitching. Shout out to Eddie. Eddie Murphy. He's been in this chat a few times. People are probably like, "Who the hell?" He has the same. He has the
already.
same last name as the actor. But yeah, I mean, I think that the pitching staff for US has just been probably one of the best staffs, if not the best staff, and we saw that display on hand. Nolan McLean stepped up, huge moment in the finals, lets up a big run, and then is able to kind of regroup. And as Ben said, the bats just went cold. Roman Anthony 0 for 4 or 0 of 3. He goes down swinging. Tough spot for him, but that's my guy. That's my guy. I'm not going to get on too much,
Okay.
but Roman Anthony goes down swinging, and then you look at Aaron Judge, who just, as Ben has mentioned, can't figure anything out. So, yeah, U.S. falls short. I think we saw that Dominican Republic game that Ben was talking about, that Will Smith frame. You can make the argument that the Dominican Republic should have beaten the U.S. So I think Ben's hit it on the nail here. And I think the bigger storyline of everything, Ben, is the captain of Judge. I'm a Yankees guy. I like the Yankees. Also like the Red Sox. That's tough. Weird stuff going on here, but that's all right. We'll push past that. And we'll talk about the fact that, I mean, coming into this, a lot of people gave Aaron Judge some crap for his speech to the guys. They were like, dude, what type of speech is this? Like, show a little bit more oomph. I mean, I don't know. So that was a one. And then you look at just him as a captain. I mean, you're the captain, you're holding the torch of the United States, and you just, like Ben said, you don't even swing. You don't even go down swinging. I can't even use that analogy. And you look at him for the Yankees, you look at him in the big moments of the World Series, he's gone missing. And guys like Giancarlo had to carry, or Jazz Chisholm, or whoever, you name it. And I think that's the biggest part is, we throw the captain patch on Judge. He's great. He's one of the best of all time. He's probably going to be one of the best sluggers me and you ever see in our lifetimes, for sure. Of course, David Ortiz, those guys, like, no disrespect, but just saying, like, that's how good he is. But at the same time, in these clutch moments, Ben, he just goes missing. I mean, how many Yankees games do we tune in? And it's against the Marlins, and he's got 3 home runs in the middle of April or July. And it's all of a sudden, come September, October, the bat starts to shrink a little bit. So, I mean, I'm an Aaron Judge guy. I've got his poster on my wall over here, like a big fan. But
Yeah, we know, we know.
at some point, you gotta push has to come to shove, and you gotta come up in a big moment. And I think I've been quiet for a while now, but the critics might be right. The lights just might be a little too bright for Aaron Judge.
Man, that's like you said, no knock to him. He's going to be one of the greatest guys we've ever seen.
Ever.
All that, all that glamour, but sometimes the guys just don't have that clutch gene, like Derek Jeter, and I'm just going to go on that one. I don't want to go too far. Josh is more the baseball
No,
guy.
I think you're right.
I was
He's
going to throw
clutch
another
too.
name, but I was going to say A-Rod was pretty clutch back in the day,
Yeah,
but
you're right.
I already just named one Venezuela guy they missed on the whole lineup after Suarez. Even though Suarez is nasty, uh, is nasty over there, but no, he's just can't knock him. He's one of the greatest of all time, but some guys just don't have it. I just don't think he has it. Hopefully he can get it for you guys. I'm not hoping that, but I mean for the Yankees fans, uh, like Josh and everyone else, they're hoping for it. But still, I still like seeing him go down swinging a little. Just a little cynical Red Sox fan seeing that. So that's a little good part for the World Baseball Classic. But just excited for this MLB season, Josh. Let's get it underway. We need something, It's getting for the playoff time for NBA, NHL. So we're gonna get into that weird time in the summer soon with no sports. So might as well just jump into the MLB.
Oh, I'm super excited. Like I said, you got Netflix game, I think, tomorrow. Interleague play, Yankees, Giants. I'm excited for that. That'll kind of kick things off. And then, of course, we got the Red Sox and the Reds, another interleague play game. I like it. Starting things off with a
Yeah.
bang, some matchups you're not used to seeing, changes things up. Definitely excited for it. And Ben, one thing that is kind of weird, though, about baseball season is it's been pushed and pushed earlier. Like, April's already pretty cold going to a Red Sox game. I know our fellow co-host here, James, he's going to the Hello Kitty game. So just throwing him out there. But
Okay, then.
you see James
Yeah.
there, but he said it too. He's like,
Give him a shout.
games, they're freezing in April. And I mean, now even thinking March. That's why the Yankees are playing in San Francisco, and that's why the Red Sox are playing in Cincinnati to start. But yeah, Ben, very excited. This is kind of that lull point for us. Football season coming to an end. The Super Bowl just passed. Basketball and NHL are getting heated up, and then of course baseball coming up. So actually, I shouldn't say an end, but you know what I mean. We've got some interesting mock drafts coming up. Not tonight, but next week. So Shane's supposed to be giving us a mock draft that we're going to critique. So Ben, hold your horses.
Let's go, Shane.
We'll get
Hurry
to
up.
that. Yeah, we'll get that there. And of
Shane.
course, Ben and I will give you our stuff too moving forward. But let's keep the ball rolling. And I'm trying to see if I got the graphic here. I think I do. And it didn't come
He's got it.
That's okay. I have a graph.
He's got something. He's going to throw it up.
I have a banner here. Here we go. Jalen Waddle traded to the Broncos. And I kind of want to take the torch here. I want to see what you think, Ben. I think this is a move that happened, 2 weeks ago, however, last week. Couldn't talk about it last week. We didn't have the show. I think that this is a great move for the Denver Broncos. You look at all their pieces last year, they literally were just missing another wide out. That just another wide out option. They're a very formidable offense, has now just became an elite offense. What do? You go out and get another guy to pair him up with Cortland Sutton. I know some people view them as both two options, but this is a team that was in the AFC Championship, Ben, that could have beaten the Patriots if they had their starting quarterback. I'm going to throw that out there. They were that close. Again, I know the hypotheticals, and I know I'm going to piss off some Patriots fans, but the Denver Broncos were super close last year. Now they add an explosive player, a game breaker who can change things in a minute. And Ben, I think that this move puts the Denver Broncos at the top of the food chain in the AFC. I mean, you look at the Bills have taken some steps back. The Patriots lost some guys. It's really hard to kind of repeat there and go back to the Super Bowl. They call it like a Super Bowl hangover for both teams, whether you win or you lose, whatever. And, Chargers are still trying to figure it out. Chiefs have taken a step back. I think the Denver Broncos are in the driver's seat right now. They didn't lose anybody on offense, really. They didn't lose anybody on defense. And now this is a move. You gave up the first round 30th pick. Whoop, whoop. I mean, Jalen Waddle could arguably be better than any of these wide receivers in that class anyways. I don't know. We don't know. We've never seen these guys hit the field. So I think this is a huge win for the Denver Broncos. If you're a Broncos fan, you're loving this. And then I think right now the Denver Broncos are a top 3 team heading into the National Football League in the American Football Conference. AFC.
You got it.
I've never called it
you
that.
Got it right.
Couldn't find the acronym.
I kind of like it. Like that. I might start calling it like that. No, I like that point at the end, Josh, too. That just kind of is why I'm saying it's a win-win for everybody, because that 30th, and this goes for the Pats too. They should probably shop this pick. It's the strongest draft in the world. You never know. Some of these guys might be sleepers and everything like that, but it's not the strongest. These next couple of years are supposed to be a little better, so it's a little dull of a draft right now. And those end the first round picks are basically like second round picks. So if you can get a Jalen Waddle or an AJ Brown for the Patriots over there for a first rounder, and throw like the Dolphins did, throw a fourth rounder in there, and everything like that, throw a couple more picks in there, I do it. And I think that's just a great move for them. And like you said, is he number 2 Waddle? Yeah, but I mean, these two guys together with Bo Nix, I think it's just going to elevate him. I think Waddle's going to become that number 1 over here. Cortland Sutton, he's pretty much a 2. He's a great number 2, but I think Waddle's just going to become that number 1 over here for Bo Nix. Both pretty young, just get him that great contract, and they're going to be together for a while. So, like you said, kept the whole roster over there, and you're looking at the rest of the AFC landscape. It's not really. The Chiefs are getting older, and like I said, the Chargers are always going to charger. They're always going to do something. They got to be healthy through the whole season to prove it. And then we got to see them in the playoffs too. So there's always that question. Ravens, they've always got some question marks with Lamar. I mean, Joe Burrow, the Bengals, they're always interesting, but that defense stinks. They can't win with that one. So I mean, the AFC's wide open. I don't want to just keep agreeing with Josh on that one, but I think the Broncos are the front runners right now. I mean, just bringing Waddle over here, retaining everybody. So, great trade. A little crazy. I was expecting him to go somewhere. So, Wasn't hoping for the Broncos, but I think this is a good move for him. Get him out of Miami. They're in a full rebuild right now, and just sort of Malik Willis and Achan over there. So let those guys ride it out. But good for Waddle. Get out of Miami, and I think they are the top team in the AFC, Josh.
100%. And the defense, I mean, that's just
Yeah,
their
defense is good.
defense carried their load last. I mean, they didn't even have Bo Nix, and they were able to figure it out. And I mean, Patriots started to beat the brakes off them later in the game, but
Yeah,
yeah, this Denver Broncos team didn't give up too much. I know you were alluding to that, Ben, and that's one thing I love about this. I think it's an A- move. You know, this is a move that's been talked about for a while. Denver, they take the risk. I know they did a pick swap or something, a fourth round, something
yeah,
besides
something
the
good.
first round 30th pick. But yeah, Ben, I like this a lot. And they're in a division that, yeah, of course, it's, you know, Raiders are eventually on the rise, but they're not ready. Chargers, as you mentioned. And I mean, this is just another one of those moves in the AFC where things just get difficult. I mean, I know there's always that battle of which one's harder, the AFC or the NFC. And I mean, if you're Bo Nix, I know he's got a huge ankle injury that he's coming off of, obviously. But I mean, other than that, this is a huge move for the Denver Broncos that I just, again, like, I even want to go out to say right now that they should be maybe the favorites in the – I mean, that's nuts to say, but I don't know. Maybe it is true. I
Just
mean,
love the
I don't know.
Broncos.
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it, Ben. Maybe watch me say this and then they go out and they win 9 games and lose in the first round. But other than that, I do like what the Denver Broncos have been doing. And I don't think there's been any other moves in the NFL that we haven't covered. But of course, we've got the draft in about a month. Getting there.
Yeah. Well, I think that Max Crosby news came out right after we
That's
went down, so we forgot that
insane.
one. No, that's what I was going to say. I mean, the Raiders, like you said, I mean, yeah, I could definitely second the Broncos being the favorites now, just based off the AFC looking at it. And you mentioned the Raiders; they were looking pretty good. I mean, you had pretty much four first round picks in over the next 2 years. That was pretty solid foundation. You get Mendoza, Genti. It was looking like you were going to get Amari Cooper, his guy from Indiana. So you start off with that duo, Genti. You got Bowers. So that's kind of a team, and then Josh pointed out Kwity Paye over here. I mean, you got the slew of guys, Kwity Paye,
I didn't mean to do that, but that
Quay
worked. Yeah.
Walker. No, yeah, it was perfect. That was perfect. That's why best producer right there. But no, Kwity Paye and Quay Walker, and I mean now you got Max Crosby too. I guess it's not all bad. Excuse me. But those I would have much rather those first round picks. That's that. No offense to Max Crosby and everything. It's going to be great. I mean, that defense is actually legit now, Josh. I mean, it's not going to be the Raiders that we saw from last year. So I think Mendoza is going to benefit from that. Genti, obviously, too. And I think that offense will be a little better from it. I think Max Crosby is going to be very motivated now. And hopefully, they get to play the Ravens. That's going to be a great game. Hopefully, they get going on over there. But it was just crazy move, Josh. And like you said, I mean, we got off air a couple of weeks ago, and of course, the Max Crosby news broke as soon as we got off air and everything like that. But now, looking back at it, it's not the best look from the Ravens. I know everyone's going to say it's all fair. It is, technically it is fair and everything. They can pull out. They didn't do anything, wrong or illegal. They didn't, mess with the rules or anything like that. But it's a little shady now going to Baltimore, Josh. I don't know. Free agency is going to be a little tough for them to lure some people over there after all this.
Without a doubt, I think that's a trade. Excuse me. That now teams are just not going to want to make deals with them. I mean, they're seeing that they're like, this is bad baggage. We don't want to make a deal if they're just going to back out of things before physicals. I get it. I mean, they're owed that right, but very sketchy stuff going on in Baltimore. Then they get Trey Hendrickson. It's almost like Jared said, they kind of knew they were going to get Hendrickson, so they just backed out of it. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they know something about Max Crosby. I know they might have reached out to Dallas's doctor, and he said, I don't know. It's all rumors. It's all jazz. It's all stuff behind the scenes. But just another move that can help the Raiders out and getting him back. So, I mean, stinks they didn't get that other first round pick that you talked about. That was my hot take last week or 2 weeks ago, was to hype that up. And, Omar was going to be paired up with Fernando Mendoza, as you mentioned, but they've had a pretty solid free agency. Of course, they just got to hit the draft running hard. But other than that, I mean, AFC, it's going to be interesting, Ben. this is the best part about free agency and the draft is just waiting to see, because everything on paper looks good until you start playing. You hit that first game, week 1 in September, and you're like, what the hell just happened? We're down 24 points, and this was a team we thought was going to take the next leap. So always exciting there. Of course, I just want to thank some of the viewers on the show here. We've got Molly, Katrina, Claudia. I'm not able to see some of your comments. I don't know what's happening. As I've said, StreamYard here, we've changed some things over, so we're trying to roughen that out. So if you are commenting and we're not seeing it on the stage here, as they would call it on StreamYards, we're not seeing it. Apologize for that. We've had a little rollover here for the cloud base, for the Minifan network. So again, we'll get that fixed for you. Like I said, things are a little off kilter this week. So thanks for dealing with us, and of
We'll
course
get them back.
Yeah, we'll get you guys back.
We'll get them back. We'll get them back.
We appreciate everybody for tuning in. But Ben, let's keep the ball moving. I don't even know if this works. I don't know where it went, but I saw under here there are widgets, and you can do polls now. Let's make this. This is an interesting one, Ben. We'll talk a little bit about the Bruins. They had a huge win on Saturday night. They, beating Detroit. They go into Detroit and win, I'm pretty sure. Getting bad with remembering who's home and away. This was a team Ben and I have kind of went back and forth on. I mean, earlier in the season, I said they were going to make the second round. I'm still sticking to that. I still think they might win a playoff series. Right now, it's looking like they're going to get into a playoff series. They had a good game. And, of course, Jeremy Swayman. He's been playing a lot better. Do we believe? Chats. Sorry, I don't know what's going on. I can't hear you guys right now. I see you guys. Excuse me. But, Ben, do we believe the Bruins can make a playoff push? Or is this false hope?
Well, it's dependent on that guy you just mentioned, Josh. Another thing from the show last time, we were trashing Swayman a little. I guess a little too much. I don't know. Maybe he was listening or something like that. But he's been going off now ever since we were just trashing him those couple weeks ago and everything. So if he can play like this, Josh, and stand on his head for a couple games and win us some of these games and just keep us afloat, because the offense is gonna sputter, but once Pasternak, if they unlock him a little more and everything like that, and just some of these second liners keep playing like they are, Josh, we can make a little playoff run depending on the team we get. So I'm gonna say yes, and it's just a fun Bruins team to watch. So I'm gonna say yes, but it's just dependent on Swayman. We gotta get this Swayman, because if we get this Swayman like he's been playing the last couple of weeks, we could beat some of these Easterns. I'm not saying we're going to go all the way, but we can get past the first round. That'd be a great season, I think, Josh. Right there, that'd be a solid season, because there was little to no expectations going into this. This was just kind of a rollover year. First year with Sturm. Let's just see the roster we have. We kind of got rid of everybody. Marchand's gone, Bergeron, Krejci, everybody's gone. So let's kind of restart and brought in some of these younger guys and. Not no-name guys, but lesser known. We're in the playoff push, like you said. So I'm just going to roll the dice with these guys and everything like that. But if Swayman can keep playing like this, Josh, I think we can make a little playoff push.
I agree, Ben. And you look at the wild card right now. Detroit, that was a huge win. You got the Flyers out 6 points. Detroit knocking on the door there, and the Islanders were seeing the footsteps. They're 1 point behind us. Ottawa Senators as well in play, and of course Bruins. They're right on Montreal Canadiens' trail in the Atlantic. So for one of those top 3 spots in the Atlantic and within the eastern side of things. So Ben, things are looking good in Boston, as you've mentioned. It all comes down to Jeremy Swayman. It all comes down to injuries, to health. As much as I harp on Charlie McAvoy, he's been solid. He's been okay. He had a big moment in that Team USA game. He's had some big moments for the Bruins. He had a game winner a couple weeks ago. I know like I said, we haven't been on the podcast, so we're kind of diving back. But, this Boston Bruins team has been good and has mentioned here. Last year, we look at Jeremy Swayman. He kind of had an off year. The year before that, he was great in the postseason, and that's what led us to this contract signing. So if the Boston Bruins can lock in, we can get contributions from middle stats to, from middle stats all the way to the Pasternaks. There's a huge gap there. And if we can continue to see that, Elias Lindholm had a couple big goals this past week. This is a guy, I know Tyler thought he was overpaid, overrated. So now if we can get these contributions from these guys to just chip in, play good playoff hockey, we can maybe make a run. And I think this is what we're building towards. I don't think the Boston Bruins are a Stanley Cup championship team, but let's make a run, Ben. Let's make a promising run, and let's get back. Let's show the organization. Let's show the Sweeneys. Let's show the Jacobs families that we can go in and we can compete, and next year we can load up, because we've got a nice young prospect on the rise who just finished up college, and his name is James Hagan. He looks unbelievable. I'm waiting to see him in a Bruins uniform, and I think he is off limits. I know that's something James has said. Do not trade him. He is not trade worthy. He should be somebody you plug and play next year, and man, you're talking about a dynamic duo in David Pastrnak. I don't know why I'm adding S's to everything. David Pastrnak and, of course, James Hagan, which would be great.
No, and that's why he just needs Josh. Like you said, Pasta just needs another guy with him. He's elevating all these other guys right now. I mean, Morgan Geekie, is he going to score more than 30 goals again this season? I don't know. I don't know. But, I mean, he's been playing great. Zaka, too. Just some of these other guys, are they going to continually step up like this, Josh? Most likely not. So we just got to get some of these guys, like you said, the Hagans. We got a ton of draft picks. Let's just roll the dice this year, see what we got. Just build some confidence for Swayman, because we need, as much as we like to have fun with him and everything, if he's good, we're good. We need his head on straight right here. Oh, there we go.
There he is. So some of the
that's fitting the first comment. Yeah, that's fitting for the first comment. They might have masshole, but I'm going to write it out. We're going to write it out right now, because it's nice when the Celtics and Bruins are in the playoffs. It's like regular. It's like good old times. So let's just roll the dice with this roster. If we go far, cool. But the expectations were very low this year, so we've already exceeded them, I think, playing with house money. So let's just ride it out. Let's see if we can get some just some play. I mean, obviously, we still need to get to the postseason. We still need a very tight wild card race. So we just need to close out strong and everything like that. So we're not saying that we're in there yet. It's still very close. Columbus, was, like Josh mentioned before, great win against Detroit. That was a crucial one just for that sort of separation in the wild card. But Columbus has been very hot of late, so we got to just watch out for some of these other teams that have been lingering around. But I think if they can get in there, Josh, and Swayman just has his head on right and just playing like this, he can lift everybody else up, and Pastrnak can find his moments just to get this offense going and everything like that. So I think if we can get into this, Josh, I think we can make a nice little playoff run.
Without a doubt, and playing against the Toronto Maple Leafs right now, and you're up 1-0 at home, is definitely a start to that. So, hey, Masshole believing that they've peaked. I don't quite think so. Getting some of these comments trickling in here from everybody. We're going back to some baseball here. Jeff Warren, you're always in here, dude. He's elite of the elite, top of the top of the food chain for Time Out Talks viewers. If we did a giveaway, he would be. He should get something. This kid is in here every week. And we've got a comment from him, Ben, that I'm trying to get to. Like I said, the new change here has
it's probably not that good.
Loop.
It's all right.
It's decent. He wants to know, and Rob's kind of knocking on that door too. He wants to hear about it too. Roman Anthony, what are your expectations for the Red Sox this year, Ben? And Rob saying too. A little side note here. He's saying Roman Anthony went 0 for 4, F- performance in that game. He's trying to blame Roman Anthony and Rob. I mean, Aaron Judge didn't play well either. But thoughts on the Red Sox, Ben, from Jeff.
That was tough for Roman Anthony too. I mean, tough spot. He played decent overall in it, but yeah, just wasn't the best ending to that World Baseball Classic for him. But showing his age right there, so only can go up from here, hopefully. But no, I think. Just what we saw from last year, just saw, stability from Garrett Crochet and just taking that sort of ace mentality over there. You got the ace. We got a great bullpen. Roman Anthony's clearly the leader now. We got no Devers or anything like that. So we know the lineup's a little more solidified. Everyone knows their role, Josh. So I'm expecting a little more push. I'm expecting, the division should be the goal. I think we can get this division. I think Baltimore, obviously Toronto. I know Toronto tooled up a little more over there. I think Baltimore's picked up some guys too. Baltimore's looking decent, and obviously the Yankees right there. So Rays as well. I'm not so sure on the Rays, to be honest. I don't know. I think the Rays kind of stink. Maybe Josh can. I was
Like
wondering
it.
what he was saying. Yeah,
I
yeah.
like
No,
it.
hey, listen. I think we can. I think we can. It was just based off this. I mean, if we can have the same bullpen performances last year and just performances from our aces, and let's see what Suarez can do. Suarez. Let's see. Let's see if this is going to be a great signing or another dud. But I mean, if he can just get us a little more, just wins for this rotation and everything, a little deeper into it. So where we don't have to rely on Crochet so much, we can give him a little rest. It doesn't have to be all on his shoulders. Give us a little 1 through 3 now action. So uh, I'm excited, and I think the division should be the goal for this team. I know we're still young. Obviously, Romanthi has many years to go. This whole team is very young, but gotta set the goals high, Josh. Might as well set them high. But yeah, I think it's attainable. So I'm going to go division. I think we should be aiming for the division, but we'll probably finish last now. Now when I say it, we'll probably be dead last and everything. You never know. Yeah, see, I mean, it's what happens. We go from first to last a bunch. You can never tell with this Red Sox. I know we get on Josh for the Yankees sporadics and their postseason woes, but the Red Sox, listen, we're right there. Sometimes we've had a lot of this worst to first syndrome, where you just have high expectations and the team falls flat. I don't think it's with this team, but I think the goal should be the division, just based off the talent we have, Josh.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's very doable. You look at the Toronto Blue Jays last year. I mean, they finally lived up to their expectations. Every year it felt like, and I bashed them last year constantly. I said they're not going to beat the Yankees. They're going to show us their true colors. They're not going to win the division. They're going to show us their true colors. But there was something about them last year where they would be down 7-1, and you turn the game on, they're up 9-7 in the bottom of the seventh, and you're like, what is going on? So I think they're a team always in the mix, but then again, they really overachieved last year, or I should say achieved last year. So they could fall back, they could move forward, and making a World Series run is hard to do again. The Yankees, they've got some injuries. Their bullpen they didn't really address. That was a huge issue last year, so I agree with you on that. They're a team that very out in the open. Baltimore, they have no rotation. Shane Boss is like one of their top guys. I mean, that's just a guy who's just never quite been able to figure it out with injuries. Their big splash was going out and get Pete Alonso, who I'm not really a big fan of. So I think the Baltimore Orioles, at some point, they got to make that next step. They need a lot of their young players, the Adley Rutschmans, the Holidays. Gunnar Henderson's going to step up. But other than him, they're counting on some other guys, Colton Cowsers, again, etc. But I think Ben's on the money here. I think the Tampa Bay Rays, they're just a team that doesn't want to put a lot of money into it. So it'll come down to the Blue Jays, Red Sox, and the Yankees for that division. And it's just kind of a seesaw with the Blue Jays. Like, which way are they going to go? I mean, they went all in last year. They didn't really do too much in free agency. They lost some players. So quite interested to see how that division shakes up. And I don't think it's that bad of a prediction. I mean, Yankees too. At some point, I think the Aaron Boone project should have been over. It should be done. They're just running it back again. They're basically doing the Steelers what they do. I mean, like, weird analogy pull, but just get rid of the guy. Like, he's not doing anything. He doesn't bring any energy. He shows no emotion. He gets ejected all the time, trying to defend his players. Like, it's just the same old story with him. It's never credibility. There's never accountability, and he throws players under the bus. He defends them. It's all over the place, Ben. And I think the Yankees are going to learn the hard way. They didn't really do much this past offseason. They're banking on a lot of their prospect talent, Jason Dominguez, Spencer Jones, and I don't know. I think the Red Sox are in a better spot than people think. They're young. They've still got a lot of talent. They moved on from some guys that were, I guess, cancers in the locker room. The Devers the Bregman situation's not floating over their shoulder anymore. They're not worried about him leaving, so they might have even found a replacement in Caleb Durbin. So we'll see. It's a wide open division, and I don't know, Ben. It all starts on tomorrow night for the Yankees, but it all starts Thursday night for the Red Sox. Or Thursday day. Should be exciting for a new day.
That's why I let you do that, Josh. I just learned a lot in that little 2 minutes right there. I forgot Pete Alonso was on the Orioles. So, no, that was good. Don't they still have a great closer, too? They got Batista.
No, they
Oh, the
don't.
Orioles, they don't. Oh, they stink. Oh my God.
Or they no, they might have him, but they don't have a good
Listen,
close. No, you're right. I mean, it's very shaky.
yeah, no, okay, perfect. Yeah, I know. Listen, I was a little dicey with that Orioles one. I thought they still obviously Rutschman, and Holiday, just some of the cornerstones over there. But yeah, like you said, I was just kind of
Wow.
reaching to see if they had anybody else. But no, as Josh pointed out, yeah, it's just kind of just a three-horse race over here. And like you said, which version of the Blue Jays are we going to get? It always just varies from year to year, but they got the talent to do so. So, but yeah, the Rays, Orioles. Like I said, I just wanted to double check. Just wanted to double check. But yeah, the Rays, Orioles, forget about those guys, and it's going to come down to the Yankees, Sox, or Blue Jays. But I'm confident. I'm confident in the Sox.
I like it. Moving forward, we've got 8 minutes left. Another interesting domino falling in the Eastern Conference. One thing Ben and I have just hampered, are these Pistons legit? And what happens? They go out, they play well, they're still holding on to that division, or that number one seed by 5 games. Celtics, they've just been stacking quiet. I'm not even worried about the number one seed, Ben. Even if they don't finish with it, that's fine. I think seeding matters in basketball, but not as much. I mean, if you're a good team, it's not as important as hockey or football, I would say, or even I don't think the seeds matter as much in basketball. I've started to learn, but second seed would be nice, of course. I mean, that's if you can hold that. First seed would be amazing, but Celtics. I mean, Cade Cunningham goes down, and we've had these doubts on the Pistons, and now let's really see what the Pistons are about because their top scorer falls down. I know he might not be done for the whole season. I'm pretty sure they came out and said that, but this could be a hinder in that little postseason run for the Pistons. And Ben, I'm going to tell you right now, the Celtics are only getting stronger and stronger, especially with Jason Tatum finally getting his wheels underneath him.
No, I mean, we never root for injuries here or anywhere else, but I mean, this is the one thing that could sort of deflate the Pistons' chances going forward, and this is what it was. And Cade going down, that's the worst one. I was expected, everybody, maybe like a Durant or some of these other guys, but I didn't see it coming from Cade Cunningham or anything like that. So I mean, just losing him to this injury and just going forward, that's going to be a huge blow to the Pistons. And Josh said, does it really matter? And for the home court, when it boils down to it, no. But I think, hey, if anyone's going to
Yeah,
benefit, yeah, no, it doesn't really. To be honest, yeah, in the NBA, I see it more mattering in the NHL, NFL. Uh, but no, I mean, if there's anywhere that's going to make a difference, probably Boston. Boston makes a pretty good
for sure.
uh, difference on that one and everything like that. So, uh, no, I think it's just I'm loving it, Josh. I'm loving what I'm seeing from these guys. I think JB is he's just even more motivated now. Now he's got Tatum. Now they can get back to that, whose team this is, debate and everything, and you can see in his play. He's just trying to say, hey, I've been here. I showed what I can do. He's got an MVP caliber season. He's going to continue to produce it. And now we got another MVP caliber player who you mentioned, Josh, just getting his footing under himself. He's finally getting that three ball there, and he's starting to see the mobility a little better for him, grabbing his boards like he always does. And this team's just coming back. It's just more so, I think, a knock on us, knock on everybody. I think we all
Sure.
underestimated Jaylen Brown in this team. Sort of the coaching from Missoula. Even though he's had his moments this year, just some of
For
that
sure.
coach talk and Missoula talk, I should say, and all that stuff. And he's had a couple of strange timeouts as he always does, and everything like that. But he's got this team going. This team hasn't missed a beat without one of the best players in the league, and we're right there. So um, I think it's scary right now, Josh. I think it's scary. Obviously, hey, we don't root for injuries, but the Pistons losing Cade, kind of going down like this. Obviously, not losing him, but just going down just opens it up for the Celtics, I think, and I think we're the clear favorites right now. We're just going forward, just looking at it from the whole landscape of it. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too, Ben. And I mean, you mentioned going back and forth with the Tatum and Brown stuff. I mean, it's been kind of a lot of stuff floated out within the media, but I mean, you just watch the Celtics, and since they've started, like they kind of pick each other up. Like Tatum, yeah, everybody thinks it's, you know, I personally am more of a Tatum guy, but then again, like Brown was the Finals MVP, and when Tatum was out, Brown was the one there to hold the team together. So I think they both pick each other up in big moments. And whose team is it? Whose team is it? I think it changes. They both realize they're both 1A, 1B. And that's that. As you've mentioned, Jaylen Brown doesn't even show it. He makes his side comments about things, but it doesn't bother him as much. And if it did, it would become a huge issue. He'd be wanting out. He'd be wanting to prove it at some point. Maybe we will get there at some point, but right now that doesn't seem to be an issue. They both, as you've mentioned, they both realize they can go out, do their own thing. And I think that's what makes this Celtics team so dangerous. You look at Hugo, you look at their defensive tenacity. Joe Mazzulla, he, as you mentioned, James has said it to me too, and he kind of rang it in my head. Like, he's been great. He's pulling the best out of these Luka Garzas and Kedas, and they're just doing their job. Everybody knows their role. They know where they have to be, and they all contribute. Peyton Pritchard has really taken that next step as one of the elite scorers, and it just in terms of pound for pound and isolation basketball. I know he's not the best, defender, but I'm pretty sure he won a sixth man of the year. If not, he's arguably, if he is the sixth man, probably one of the best, if not the best in the National Basketball Association at coming off the bench. So, they've got a deep roster, Ben, and that's what you need in the playoffs. Again, we've seen a little bit of that big matchup against the Thunder a week or two ago. And, the Spurs kind of gave the best of us, but we can hang with those guys, Ben. We don't have Tatum at full strength. I think it was Derek White was out in that game as well. Somebody was out. That wasn't just Jason Tatum. It might have been Brown or somebody, Derek White. They were missing somebody in that big game that they lost. Peyton Pritchard almost hit that. That would have been nuts if he hit that buzzer beater. But again, they can hang with these guys, Ben, and I think that's what I like to see. We look at the Eastern Conference as always. Usually, it's not usually the Western Conference. The Western Conference is the place to be, especially with Wemby out there and Curry and Shea, and the list goes on and on. But they showed that they can hang with these guys, and hey, that's fine. They don't need. And again, I do think the seeding matters, because Ben made me remember a little bit, if it's a game 7 and you're at home in Boston, that matters. Sure. I think it matters in the sense of it doesn't matter in the sense of, they're the second seed, Pistons are the first. So other than that, just want to thank everybody for tuning in. Kind of a wonky day here. Started a little late. Want to thank everybody. Apologies for missing last week. I'm going to shout things over to Ben, let him finish off the show. So thank you guys for tuning in.
I don't know. I always appreciate from everybody. Massel got a great comment in there. But we got MLB opening day, got everything else going on. Just tournament wise, a little March Madness has been a great tournament so far. Florida upset. Same thing with Wisconsin, and of course me being wrong about Arkansas going out early. They're looking like a dangerous team over there. But just wanted to say Kansas, that was one of the worst defensive performances I've ever seen, and Gonzaga stinks.
Timeout, Talks. Timeout, Talks.